Hello and welcome to the show. This is East Tennessee Music Scene on the Rise. I am Scott Thomas. I'm sitting here with REDD. I always pronounce your last name incorrectly, so...
It's Daugherty, like party. REDD Daugherty.
That's awesome.
Yes.
She's here to talk with us a little bit about her musical journey from whenever you started to now and beyond. Yeah. So when exactly did you start in the music business or playing music?
Well, I guess, I've always played music. High school is when I really got into music, and I, thought this is what I want to do. It ended up not working out that way because I'm not as talented as what I like to think. There are a ton of better guitar players out there, and I kind of recognize that. So I kind of figured out that maybe guitar playing is not the best thing that I have. Maybe it's my voice. And so I use my instrument as a way to use my other instrument. And so, that was a big learning curve because I thought I was hot, and I really wasn't until I learned, the things I'm actually good at. So push came to shove. I started doing some open mics. Knoxville's amazing for the little open mic community. If you don't know about it, you should go to open mics because you grow a lot. And so I continued doing open mics. I ended up actually hosting the Preservation Pub open mic when Colin stepped down from that to, I think he was doing I-105, okay. The radio station. And so I just learned so much beyond what I thought. I thought I knew everything, but I learned so much beyond when I started hosting open mics because I learned the audio, spectrum of that, how to people manage, how to work with people. And I finally had an opportunity to listen to people instead of just trying to always perform and always show off my talents because, it's a learning process and a learning curve. And so I was looking back horrible back in that time. And I think I just keep getting better every day. So yeah.
It kind of does take practice to improve your craft and to get better with vocals and things like that, which I don't think, from what I've heard of you, I don't think you need any improvements of your vocals because very powerful.
That. Thank you. It did not used to be that way. So don't worry. They'll get there. Whoever will get there. If you want it, you'll get it. But I didn't really start pushing for myself. In, gigging out and things like that until quarantine hit, actually.
Yeah. Because
I teach high school English. So that wasn't a reality for me.
So your songwriting is pretty on the spot too. If you are an English teacher, you kind of don't want to use improper English in your writing style.
Yeah. And another big thing is even when I write it on the page, I'm like, semicolon, that goes there, M dash. So I totally agree. I think having an English degree has helped a lot in my songwriting capabilities. So,
do any of your students know that you sing and you play out?
Yeah, it was really funny because I didn't have a social media presence until really like last year. I had an Instagram. I avoided Facebook at all costs, but now I have a Facebook because I know I need to reach out to my audience. But, some of my students were, asking about hobbies and things that I do. And so I don't know how they found me on Instagram, but once they found me on Instagram, I started growing a little bit more because my kids were so supportive. So that was super helpful. And honestly, a big announcement is, I auditioned for American Idol for season 4. And I wouldn't have done it had I not taken, number one, a cell music masterclass with Adam Ivy. He's amazing. He just grows local musicians. But also if my students didn't, in effect, blackmail me to try this out. So that was really interesting. Basically, my yearbook kids got together and we were like, we're not going to do anything you need until you submit this link through the Zoom submission. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. So that's kind of how it happened. And I actually did my Zoom audition in my classroom because we didn't have any subs at the beginning of the school year with COVID and quarantine going on. And so my assistant principal, Melissa Walsh, she was like, I got you, girl. And so she went up and covered my class. And then I went down into the library and did my audition. And some kids were like vibing in the background. And I'm like, can you calm down? It was wonderful.
You got a support system there.
Yeah, they're my biggest support system, I think. Aside from the local community, my kids grow me in really uncomfortable ways. they want to see me, succeed and do well, even if that means I won't stay in teaching forever. So.
Well, everybody has to grow in their own way.
Yeah.
If they're pushing you to do the singing and playing out, then that must be where they know that you're going to be going.
Yeah.
In that direction. And you've been doing that for quite a while now, playing
for about
out
10 years. But again, like I didn't get very serious until maybe March of last year in 2020.
Yeah.
So once I started growing my social media presence, I would originally reach out to gigs and be like, hey, I'm really excited, that you're open. Can I please come play for you? And this terror and fear washed over me because it was so strange asking if I could come and play for people in such strange times. And now I'm getting more venues reaching out to me than I reach out to them. And it's the most humbling experience I think I've ever had. Just that feeling of being wanted and being around and sharing my craft.
Kind of a feeling of acceptance into the world of music and using your voice and your guitar playing style. I know you say you're not good with guitar, but you sounded good to me.
I appreciate that. It's just when you're around so many talented people every day, you realize you are not the smartest or most talented in the room. And I think that's a good thing. So recently I started playing with Will Ross. Okay. He's an upright bass player. He's, going through the jazz program at UT for upright bass. And I learn so much just from playing with him. And so we've kind of teamed up and we do most things together now in terms of gigging out. And he's much more well-versed on the guitar than I am. I learn from him with that. He helps me choose songs that fit my singing style and our playing style collectively. Yeah. So I really like not being the smartest person or most talented person in the room because it's like getting little cheat sheets of what I can do to be better. So. Yeah. See, people that we interview, I'm not the best at interviewing, and I sometimes stumble over my words and things like that. But having people like you and some others that we've done in the past have just kind of allowed me to sit back and listen to how somebody projects themselves and puts their words out the way that they see fit. Well, thank you. And I think you're doing an amazing job. I am so happy to be here. And I also just am, again, humbled that you even reached out to me. So thank you for including me.
Well, we want to make sure everyone has an opportunity or chance to come on the show and talk about their what they're doing in the music scene or any other thing that they might be doing out in the world, such as teaching. And you are influencing the younger crowd, so they could possibly want to get out and sing themselves or play guitar.
And I mean, I think the biggest part about teaching that I love is the kids. I originally thought I was getting into teaching because I love English and I love literature. And while that's true, I feel like my people skills are so much stronger than my content knowledge. I think I'm still knowledgeable in the content. I know how to write really well. I know how to teach kids how to write and how to read and how to analyze. But I think I grow the most and my students grow the most because of the connections we make and the connections they make together. So, I don't think it's at this point a secret that I'm pursuing music. And, talking with my department and my principals and my students, they're super supportive in whatever direction that I want to go in. And I think that was shocking to me because the politics of education are really difficult to navigate sometimes. Yeah. Depending upon the state that you teach in, the school that you teach in, the district that you teach in. And so I'm just really lucky to have the principals that I do and how supportive they are, how supportive my kids are, and, my English department. Really lucky.
That's awesome. You have definitely a big support system right there.
Oh, yeah.
From your students, and most likely your family and friends are right there with them.
Yes.
Pushing you into the direction that they think you should be at least diving into. Whether you stay there or not is up to you, but they want to get you out there.
Yeah. Being uncomfortable is good. It means you're growing. So there's a lot of uncomfortability right now.
Oh, yes. So. Well, there's a lot of uncomfortability right here. I'm always that way whenever I do these, but the focuses of these interviews are you and anybody else that's sitting next to either me or when I have Bobby here, both of us. But I've had people talk about how awkward my interviewing style is. And I mean, it's true. It is. But my focus and everybody else's focus should be on you. So that's what this whole thing is about. We want to put out you as an artist and see how far we can help you get.
I appreciate you for helping me grow, for real.
We love the music scene here.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd love to have you back at some time later and see where you're going, or where you've been, or where, all sorts of different things.
Down.
Maybe we can talk a little bit more about the...
Once it's released finally.
Yes.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that.
Yeah.
Do you want me to talk about that?
It's understandable. We'll just say you were a part of that show.
Okay.
And people can look for it whenever it comes out.
Huh.
Because we don't know.
Okay. We don't know. We don't know anything. Yes.
But your specific genre, people will hear your song a little bit later at the end of the show, but your specific genre of music, do you have sort of a genre that you stick to, or do you just kind of draw from everything?
I think picking the genre right now is something that I'm really struggling with. And I think it's because I have so many influences in the music realm, whether it be local or, those big names. I think my music style is, if Norah Jones and Jack White had a baby, I think that's kind of where my musical style is and where it's heading. I tend to label myself as an indie artist, because I think indie's the most hodgepodgey mixture of music.
It's kind of a collective, yeah.
Yeah, and you can listen to indie music and you can hear electric on one song, really heavy drums on one song, and then the next song can be totally acoustic with ethereal sounds in the background. And so I think that's where I'm at. When I play acoustically and I'm not in the studio, I think I might fit under the genre of Americana.
Yeah.
Just because of my songwriting, the lyrics that I employ, and how I go about playing my instrument.
And we always talk about people's writing process.
Mm-hmm.
Do you write from personal experience or the world in general, things like that?
So I didn't really discover my writing style again until super recently, when I started checking my own craft and checking how I did anything in my own style. I think that for the most part, I write from personal experience, but I have dabbled and played around with writing from character perspectives. Okay. But again, I think that's the English teacher in me kind of coming out.
Yeah.
So one of my songs that has released is called Middle Class Villain. And I wrote that song from the inspiration of my little cousin Addie, a couple years back, running around my mom's kitchen, screaming wildly with a rubber chicken.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, this is what the end of the world would look like. And so, I created a character out of that adorable scene with Addie. And so I like playing around with both styles. But in terms of writing, I think most of the time I write lyrics as I'm playing a chord progression. It's really hard for me to separate the two.
Okay. Even
in the studio, when they're like, hey, can you redo that line because your pitch was off, or because you came in on the wrong downbeat, I have to sing the whole verse over again, or I won't remember how it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
So it's very connected, my guitar and my lyrics. So
you kind of do both at the same time. The guitar riffs and the lyrics just go together just as one. Yeah,
and I'd really like to break out of that. There are a lot of musicians that are super talented and just being able to drop either one at the dime. And I think that's one thing that I want to get better at doing as an artist.
We all have to have goals to do what we need to do to perfect the direction we want to go in.
Yeah, definitely.
And for me, it's getting better at interviews.
No, I think you're doing amazing. This is fun.
I try.
Yeah.
So you've played quite a few places, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
And you said one of the places you played at was Scruffy City, correct?
Yes. I played at Scruffy City a long time ago, though. This was before I had any vision of what I wanted to do. And I think I had an in because I also hosted the open mic. Yeah.
And I was just going to mention that because we are about 2 doors down from Scruffy City here at ProMotion Studios. And we're happy that they are allowing us to do this show here for the next couple episodes. So be looking for us to be in this particular place for at least 2 or 3 more episodes. Anything outside of the East Tennessee area that you have played or want to play?
I mean, I guess in terms of looking for other places to play, I have one of the biggest places that I really want to play is and this is also like on the Knoxville scene level. I played at the Bijou once when I did the Tennessee Songwriters Week competition. I would love to go back to do a show there. Once I have enough original material, I can get a crowd in. There's also this place, I think in Colorado. It might even be in Nevada, where there are rocks that are in the background.
Is it Red Rock Canyon?
Red Rock Canyon.
That's in Nevada, I believe.
I think it is in Nevada. But I've seen a lot of shows, on TV or online, and the sound just from listening on the other side of the screen is amazing.
The acoustics come from just the rock formations around. Yes. It makes it really cool.
So I think that's, of course, that might be a ways off because I know you need to be a lot bigger, right, than the local scene area. But I think that would be a crazy, amazing experience to play where the natural sound is what carries. And so I'm really interested in doing that. I even have a picture of that on my little vision board at home.
Oh, cool.
This is where I want to play. The Bijou is right next to it. So,
well, you got to have goals.
Yes.
And everybody that has hit it big now was a local however many years ago.
Right.
So just keep pushing along and you'll get there.
Yeah. Definitely. I think also, of course, the Grand Ole Opry, we're in Tennessee. Why not?
What about the Tennessee Theater?
Okay. I need you to stop because now I have all of these ideas.
Ideas are always good.
Right. It's just the organization of those ideas. I think I'm still learning a lot about how to organize my craft and reach out and also time manage.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm working, as a teacher. I also work 2 other jobs as a writer for companies, one being Odell Education and the other being for Bloom Board Education.
Okay.
And I just quit coaching cross country and track. It broke my heart, but I needed to have, my weekdays open after school so I could book gigs. And when I told my cross country and track team, they were so supportive. I was a gross, crying, emotional mess, but it needed to happen for me to grow.
It's a sad thing for one thing to end, but you're kind of improving your odds for the music thing to grow in its place.
Yeah.
And your cross country or running groups can come and watch you on stage.
Definitely. And
I'm sure they'll support you wherever you are.
And they always do. They are, anytime I have new content coming out or a new song coming out, they're the first ones to repost it.
That's
and I'm
awesome.
like, technically I can't follow you back, but thank you so much. Once they graduate, then I'll follow them back.
That's right. And you have some social media stuff we can put out?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Facebook,
Instagram. Yeah. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at REDD.music. That's where I'm the most prevalent. Come connect with me.
And I'll make sure we have all of it in the lower portion of this screen. Just scroll down. You'll see the information section with her information, a little bio about her, and all of her information below that. And then if you go even lower, you'll see our stuff. Because I always tag us in the information section as well.
That's awesome.
Did you have anything else that you want to pass along to the viewers out there?
I mean, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. Promotion's amazing. This kind of career option with our camera crew and our audio crew, as I teach journalism, they deserve so much more money. Like this video, please subscribe. Thank you guys.
Yes, we love people to subscribe and like all of our videos. We've been doing this for almost 4 years now. It's going on 4 years.
That's awesome.
So hopefully we'll get a lot more.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. And we'll have you back sometime at a later date and see how you're doing.
All right. Awesome.
This has been East Tennessee Music Scene on the Rise here at ProMotion Studios. We will see you next time.
Hi guys, my name is Red. I'm really excited to play for Promotion today, and I'm going to start off with Joy. Thanks for tuning in. It's raining outside, so we're stuck in, laying on the floor. And it's the first time that I've been able to breathe. queen of love, hate, and a cancer that won't die. I've been searching for happiness. Though you know I go insane without that rain deep in my bones, you take away my troubles. So teacher, teach me a lesson I don't know. The price of gasoline won't keep me from the distance. Nor the dreams in your head where we've been captured. Though I don't have no lover, though I know cancer's a killer, all that matters is the rain. All that matters is the rain. All that matters is the rain. Oh, rain. All that matters is the rain. Thanks, guys.